beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Now if you've clicked on this video, it means that you're obviously interested in how I save to go traveling, my experience as a solo traveler, and my tips for traveling around Europe. And that's really exciting. It means that you're thinking about doing the same. So if you want to know how I did it, keep watching. And yeah, let's get started in the video. One of the first things that I did to save for my trip to Europe was I worked 4 jobs for 3 months. I worked in a fast food restaurant, I worked at a childcare centre and after school care, and also worked as a babysitter on weekends or whenever the parents needed me. I never ever said no to a shift unless it clashed with another shift I'd already been asked to do, and most of the time I would always ask if I could tweak the hours a little bit so that they could all fit together. I was really lucky to find jobs that I could do like part-time of everything. Obviously this isn't possible for everyone, but if you don't have a job or you have a job already, you can always pick up an extra job. You can do a bar job, you can do babysitting or nannying after school or something like that to get some extra cash. Now, it wasn't easy. I did 13-day weeks and sometimes I would work 15 hours a day, but I knew that it was all because I had a goal and I was so determined to reach it. And one of the things that motivated me the most was that I'd already booked my flights. So I didn't have a choice. I had to make that money, and that's one of those things that I would really recommend to you is book your flights. You know, you can do it 5 months ahead of time, 6 months ahead of time, even a year ahead of time, and give yourself that goal. You know that you have to fly out to your dream destination in X amount of time, and you've got to save that money, and that will push you to scrimp and save and say yes to the shifts when you're really exhausted, you just need a day off, and you just say, fuck it, I need the money, I've got to do it, I'm gonna say yes, and I am not gonna hate it. I am going to think about all the money that's going in my bank account and how I'm gonna spend it, where I'm gonna send it. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that motivated me, was booking my flights. It really works. And also when you book your flights quite in advance, then you're saving money as well because you have booked it ahead of time and usually the flights are cheaper. The next thing I wanted to talk about with saving money was scrimping and being a tight ass. Now, I was such a tight ass for at least 4 months. I took cheaper public transport, so in where I lived in Sydney I could get a boat, which was more expensive but is quicker, or a bus, which was obviously longer. I'd have to get up like an hour earlier, and I'd get the bus instead because it was cheaper, and it was hard, but I saved $4 or $5 that day, so it was worth it for me. I always got cheap food. I always bought the fruit and veg that are in season and on sale. I didn't go out to dinner, I didn't go out eating, I didn't get takeaways unless I was with my mum and my nan, and they always treated me because they knew how hard I was working to save. I didn't go out very much either. I didn't have much time to go out. It was a bit hard because Jeremy had already left to go to Europe, so I was alone by myself. Rather than just sitting at home, I just worked. Like, I just worked so much, and yeah, when I did go out I was really cautious about money. And yeah, so that's one of the biggest things, is you don't realize how much money you spend buying like the little things. Like, you have your favorite cheese, so you buy it every time and you don't think about it, but there's one slightly cheaper that you could buy that you could be saving another $3 on. And when you do that, you have to remind yourself, like, this is $3 that's going to go towards, I don't know, a slice of pizza in Italy, and you have to say, okay, I'd rather that slice of pizza in Italy than like my favorite expensive cheese. I'm just gonna go for the cheap cheese. It's not as good, but it's still okay. So what happened was, I booked my flights. I went to France. I was with my boyfriend for a little while, and then I decided it was time to keep moving a little bit, and I booked a trip to Italy. I booked my trip to Italy 3 weeks in advance, and I would not recommend that. I would recommend booking as far in advance as you can, all the places that you want to hit, so that you can save on trains and flights and all that and hostels, because I also went in the peak of summer. Things were overpriced. I would recommend going before or after summer if you're looking to go to like warmer countries, because you're going to save money that way. It's not going to be so packed, it's not going to be so hot and sweltering and sticky and disgusting, and yeah, you're gonna have cheaper prices in general with most things. To go along with that sort of tip about booking in advance, book in advance, but don't book everything. Sorry, the dog's barking. Curtis! You want to book things in advance, but don't book everything. Wait till you get there. Now, for some of you, if you're really on a tight budget, okay, book everything up. But if you want to really have a true adventure, I would recommend booking sections out. So you say 1.5 weeks in Rome, 1.5 weeks in Florence, for example. Then you're going to go for a week here, a week there, right? So book your hostel for maybe the first 3 nights, 4 nights that you're there. Then you will find that there's so much more going on and you're not going to want to miss that. So you might find that your hostel's not that great, you want to move, or you want to move to a different part of the city to see something a bit different, or you want to not be in Rome at all, you want to go down further, which you can do. It's really, really close, and you're going to go on day trips to Pompeii, and you're going to stay in Sorrento overnight, that kind of thing, and then you're going to come back up to Rome to get that train on to Florence. I really, really recommend doing that. I didn't do it as much, and I should have, and I regret it. Like, for example, I was in Florence, I booked a hostel, it had really, really good ratings. I didn't like it. I'd already booked all my nights there. There was another place that I would have wanted to go, Cinque Terre, but I couldn't do that. I should have only booked 3 nights and then seen how I'd gone and, you know, found somewhere else. Another thing with planning and booking things in advance, usually your hostel will know where the best places are to hit up, how you can do it in 1 day or 2 days, all the touristy stuff, and then where you should go afterwards to explore more of the real city. So don't make too much of an itinerary. I didn't have one at all. I just went, I had no idea, and I found out so much from talking to fellow travellers, talking to the people that worked in the hostel. And if you've already booked up and fully like organised your schedule, then you can't enjoy the moment, you have to go off. It's up to you, but that's what I recommend. I also recommend, if when you're booking a hostel, go onto Hostel World, that's it, hostelworld.com. They have an amazing website. Each hostel gets reviewed every time you stay in it. You can book the hostel, you can find out what rooms are available, you can find out more about the hostel, photos, all the hostels that you're looking for in your price range. They'll come up on a map so you can see where they are. Sometimes they don't have all the like rooms. Like, I remember one of the girls that I met in Rome, she came with me to Florence, and then we were going on to Caltaldo, which is like a small town in Siena, and we wanted to stay at this really amazing hostel. I had already booked two nights there, and she hadn't booked anything yet, and Hostel World was saying that they were fully booked out. But when we... Hi, Curtis. You know I'm filming a video right now. This is my main man. Bye. Sorry about that. But then we emailed them at the hostel, and they were like, no, we have enough space, we can fit your friend in. And we were really lucky with that, and so she was able to come with. So sometimes if it says that it's already booked out, if you email, sometimes they might be able to fit you in. But yeah, go check out Hostel World. It's so much information, and the search engine is really great on trying to find a hostel. I am not sponsored by them. I do not have enough subscribers to be sponsored by them, but I just wanted to mention it because they were great. Another tip I'd like to give you guys is travel light. That was like one of my saving graces, is that I traveled so light. I just had a small backpack and a small carry-on size wheelie suitcase that locked. And that's all I needed. I found that I didn't even need everything that I had packed, and I went for 8 weeks away, so I probably could have not taken as much clothes as I did as well. I did take quite a lot of stuff. If you are going to places with multiple climates, then obviously you might need to pack a little bit more, but you will be paying more if you need to get flights. It is going to be a pain when you're getting on and off public transport. The metro in Paris, trying to get your bag up and down the stairs is insane. Sometimes you just have to grab your bag and run up those stairs, and I found that in a lot of countries, like, there's not always going to be an escalator to take your bag up. Obviously if you've got a big backpack on, that's fine, but I had a feeling like that wearing a big backpack for me was going to be really stressful, because I don't know, it would be really heavy on my back, and I just don't think I could have managed it this trip. So the less stuff you take with you, like if you've just got a backpack and a small bag, the less likely you're gonna get stuff stolen, because you can keep an eye on two things. That's the only thing you need to keep an eye on. Big bags, little bags, backpack as well. You're just gonna have too much stuff to keep an eye on, and you're gonna lose something, or someone's gonna steal it. I remember being on a bus and there was a family going to the train station. I was going to the train station too. They had so many bags, handbags, big ass wheelie bags, and there was a lady on the bus and she tried to pickpocket them. Luckily the daughter saw and she was like, "What are you doing?" But this woman had her hand fully in the mum's bag, and the mum hadn't even noticed because she was too busy trying to stop the big bags from wheeling around on the bus. So yeah, luckily nothing got stolen in that situation because they caught her, but there you go. The last thing that I want to tell you guys, and this is one of the most important things, especially if you're traveling alone, but even if you're traveling with friends, it's really important. Make friends. Say hello to people. In hostels, obviously, there's lots of people from all over the world, and lots of people are traveling alone too. Like, it's nice to say hello to someone. If someone's traveling by themselves, they're going to be here to make friends just as much as you are. So say hi. Say hi. Where are you from? How are you going? Where have you been traveling to? How long are you traveling for? And they're just the very basics. Like, every time you meet someone, I guarantee you will get asked that question, or you will be the one asking that question. That's one of the most important things, is to make friends. It is amazing how many good friends you can make. I have some lifelong friends that I've made through traveling, and most of them are living all over the world, and you can always go visit them in their country and they can come visit you. And so yeah, that's my last and final tip for traveling. I hope that you found this video interesting and that it's inspired you to start saving some money. Obviously, like, I've still got money that I saved from all that working, and I'm hoping to put that towards a trip for this year in 2017 with my best friend. I talked about that in my last video, but hopefully. So thanks again for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. If you do comment, tell me if you're planning on traveling and where you plan on traveling to. And yeah, I will see you in my next video.